Hey everybody, it's Bree. Today I want to share with you some letter recognition strategies. Letter recognition is the primary step for children learning how to read, learning how to write their name, and learning how to spell. Letters are around us every day, so it's very important that our children learn how to identify letters. Today we're going to cover 6 strategies to help your child recognize letters. Those strategies are drilling with flashcards, use of manipulatives, arts and crafts, electronics, letter webs, and varied repetition. The alphabet is a set of letters in a fixed order that represent the sounds used in a language. The English language has 26 letters. A child should be introduced to the alphabet between ages 2 and 3, and they should be able to identify most, if not all, letters by ages 4 and 5. The best letters to start with when teaching your child how to recognize letters are vowels and the letters in their first and last name. Try setting a goal of introducing 1 to 2 letters per week. So here I have some flashcards. These are store-bought. However, you can feel free to make some yourself, DIY. There are plenty of ideas on Pinterest, Google, different websites like that that will give you resources to learn how to make them if you cannot afford them. So here I have my letter E and my letter A. I'm starting with vowels. So here is how we use flashcards. And drilling sounds pretty harsh, but it's really not. It's just going over and constantly repeating and introducing. So here we have E. E, egg. On the back, we're lucky enough to have a visual that has the egg on the back. So this can build even more reinforcement and familiarity. Apple. On the back we have an apple here. So that is what we do with our flashcards. It's extremely simple. Number 2, use of manipulatives. And manipulatives are things that you often see children playing with, organizing, or rearranging. So here I have some Legos. I'm going to show you guys what I do with my Legos. I am forming the shape of the letter E. This builds even more reinforcement, especially for children that enjoy building and constructing things and enjoy playing with Legos. So here I have an E. The next manipulative I have are little clips that you can hook together and do different things with, but today we're going to build the letter E. And I have a white piece of paper just to kind of help me define and see where I'm forming my letter. So all you would have to do if you're using manipulatives is just ask your child. For instance, I'm going to use the name Bobby. Bobby, show me a letter E with your clips, or show me a letter E with your Legos. And then they should be able to do that, or you can feel free to assist them. So here's my E with my manipulatives. Number 3, arts and crafts through use of drawing or coloring. So here I have a traced out letter E. I kind of dotted it out so that we could trace it today. So you would first introduce the letter, of course. They should already be familiar with it, but if they're not, please feel free to reinforce what the letter is. So here we have an E. You might want to help direct them on which way to go first. We have many different students that may be unsure on where to start. Some might start in the middle of where the E is, some might start at the end, but it's best to instruct them to start how we would normally write on a piece of paper without a prompt or dotted lines. So here I have my E. I'm going to trace that. This also helps reinforce penmanship and writing skills. So letter E. Feel free to have your child draw even a picture of an egg if they would like on the back of their paper. Some children learn best through arts and crafts. So that is number 3. Number 4, electronics. We have many resources and sites to go on when finding the best tools for letter recognition. I find to work the best is YouTube videos. We have many YouTube videos, we have many pictures that are online, even games. So some websites that I find that are extremely helpful: ABC Mouse, Reading Eggs, and sometimes even Lexia and Philadelphia school districts. However, YouTube is one of the best universal tools to help children recite and recognize letters. Number 5, letter webs. So I made this term up by myself on my own. Here I have a dry erase board and a marker. If you have paper at home, pencils, you can use that as well. Chalkboards, anything works with this. So our focus today was the letter E. I wrote the letter E in the center of my web. So even if you need to kind of define your letter, you can draw a circle around it. Here I have the letter E. I also have words that begin with the letter E. If you need extra reinforcement, feel free to underline the letter E so it shows the focus of what letter we're working on. Letter E, so we can go over the words that we have. We can go over the sounds that the E makes in certain words. So for instance, E, egg. E, elephant. E, ear. E, Eskimo. Once again, this helps build familiarity. Some children are already familiar with certain words, so I definitely think that this is a great tool to use when reinforcing or reintroducing a letter to a word. Number 6 is something that most people in the world of special education are familiar with, and that is called varied repetition. So I have some flashcards here. I think these are the best materials to use when using the strategy of varied repetition. That is not the academic term. That's just something that I gave it, a name that I gave it. So varied repetition is when a student is drilled on a specific letter and asked to locate or identify the letter given different instances where the letter is presented. So I have some flashcards lined up. My E is already here. I have some other letters surrounding the letter E. So all you would do is first you want to start with the letter E by itself. And you would say, I'm going to use the name Bobby again. Bobby, help me find the letter E. He would pick the letter E up. He would point to it. You would ask him, what is this letter? He'll say E. I find this as the most effective. That's why I saved it for last, because it seems to help children catch on super quick to whatever letter it is you want to help them identify. So once they've identified the letter E and they are able to say that it's the letter E on their own, that's when I go in and I add extra letters. So here I have the letter C. So you can kind of mix them up a little bit if you would like. I would go back and ask him the very same question I asked him, and I would say, Bobby, help me find the letter E. And he would pick up the letter E. I would ask him, what letter is it? He would recite, this is the letter E. Once I find that he's very comfortable with that and he seems super familiar with E, you can feel free to add a second or third card along with the letter C. And once again, mix it up so it's not too obvious. Bobby, help me find the letter E. He would pick up the E. This is the letter E. In an instance where a child does not locate the letter E, you might need to take some cards away. You might need to redirect them to what we did previously, or even the flashcard by itself, or maybe some videos that directly focus on the letter E. If the child is not able to recognize the letter E in the midst of others, that means we probably need to focus on E a little bit more. Maybe for a couple of days, maybe sometimes it takes weeks. It takes time to learn all 26 letters. So especially for ages 2 to 3, there's no significant rush. Feel free to take your time. So Back to where I was, if there's an instance where Bobby picks up the letter D and I ask for E, I would say, let's try again with that. And I'll maybe take one card away to see if it makes it easier, or 2 cards away. And then he'll say, oh, okay, letter E. So sometimes that happens, sometimes it doesn't. We can't, bank on that happening every time, but that is just a possibility. So here are some do's and don'ts for teaching letter recognition. Number 1, for do, be patient. Every child is not going to be able to catch on right away to all 26 letters, especially between the ages of 2 and 3. Number 2, take it slow. Only focus on 1 to 2 letters at a time. And number 3, try to provide a letter, sound, word combination when teaching your child letters. This helps build familiarity. So I got a strategy off of Hooked on Phonics that I'm going to use. I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to start with the letter A. A, apple. I only have one don't for you guys to follow, and that is, please do not expect the ABC song to replace formally teaching letters. Children will often mesh these letters together while singing, so we want to make sure that if they sing the alphabet letter, they are emphasizing each letter, especially L, M, N, O, and P.
Happy, a chicken. A little pea.
Well, I hope the strategies I shared with you today were helpful. I will be sure to list the resources that I used and that I mentioned today down below. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe to this video. Until next time.